Baby, baby, they done brought me back out of retirement. They done brought me back from my summer retirement. Y'all know I like to retire in the summer. They done brought me back. Hopefully, my internet is acting okay because it's looking like a little crazy on my end. So let me know in the chat if I'm showing up okay, if I'm showing up clear. But they done brought me out of my summer retirement. Okay. I have been watching, of course, y'all know, because I've been over on Little Black Books channel. I've been over there with Coach. We've been over there talking and things every Tuesday. Find us there. We there over there on Tuesdays. That's where we at, topping it up. And I've been keeping up with the second half of the season, but I just had not been motivated to be here on my Friday nights. But this episode, this reunion brought me out of my retirement, and we got to talk about some things, baby. We got to talk about some things, okay? Because people was moving hella mad. Child, it's the one size powder spray. That thing be having a full glow when I spray it on my face. I love it right now. I love it. Okay. But you still got 15 minutes. Okay, Chicago girl, I'll let you get in the last 15 minutes. It ain't really much once we got past a little bit, but it's a little something there. So continue to watch it. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here for a minute, okay? Um, but yeah, yeah. I'm puzzled by the lack of accountability on that stage. You know what I'm saying? Especially by my women folk. I'm gonna pretend to be shocked because I know some of us struggle with accountability, okay? But I'm shocked. I'm really shocked because when we grown and we doing grown things, we should be able to handle our grown consequences. But apparently, some of us can't. And by the end of the episode, so that's why I need you, Chicago girl, to finish it. By the end of the episode, I was just like, "Excuse me." So you mean to tell me, but you mad? You over here doing X, Y, and you over like I'm confusion. I'm all the way confusion, and I'm confusion with Rose the most. I'm confusion with Rose the most. Okay, I am definitely like, say what now? I didn't understand what was happening. Somebody please tell me what the flip was happening on that stage. What was going on? Because one, the all the animosity, all this. I'm emotional. I'm crying. I had two. Now, mind you, when she talked to Tay, she had two whole people who she felt some type of way strongly about that crossed her by the end of this in their own separate ways. Two people. Somehow in the middle of this, it was only one person that was catching the heat for it, for the most part. During the process, she had two people that's crossed her their own separate way. Now, I'm trying to piece together one of them people didn't cross her specifically in the process. By the end of the episode, we find out some more details, and I was just really puzzled because I was just like, why you big mad? Why you big mad at Hussein? You know I'm gonna say his name wrong, okay, babes? Don't be mad at me. It's Hussein, maybe. Hussein him. I didn't see him. You know what I'm saying? Rails didn't see him. But not, okay, I'm going on my ADH rant. But you was big mad at him at the start of this episode, but by the end you was over here horizontal poking with Cam. I'm so confused. I ain't seen him either. Who seen him? I ain't seen him. You know what I'm saying? Who seen who? Who seen him? Cause I ain't. I ain't seen none of this coming. I ain't seen none of this coming. None of this was on my bingo card at all tonight. Okay. I lost. I is lost. I lost. I am lost by Rose. But I told y'all from jump, I have not been a big fan of Rose. Something about her was not sitting well with me. And I want to talk about that part specifically. There's a lot that was going on in this episode. We will definitely get into all of that. I want to really get into it more so with my comrades over on Kojo's channel, Little Black Book, on Tuesday. So Tuesday, I will really get into most of it. But tonight, specifically, the parts that I really want to hone in on is all of this that was going on with Rose. I don't think they were wrong for sending Rose home and saying that she was not ready to love. She's not. Rose been back here playing games this whole daggone time. Excuse me, ma'am. If that was not a bombshell that you dropped, if you felt like that was not a bombshell that you dropped on Hussein about your child's father being incarcerated, why you couldn't tell him that in private? Why you couldn't tell him that beforehand? Why did he have to find out the way he found out? Why does it has to take him really sitting down to say, Rose, what's going on with your baby daddy? Because, like, seriously, they didn't ask you that question. I mean, the question was asked, like, what's the relationship between y'all? But you didn't have to go into, oh, he's incarcerated, so this, that, and the third. So to be up here on stage purposely misconstruing and misunderstanding why he is upset is what has me in confusion, because you're literally on purpose trying to sit there and act like it's because your child's father is incarcerated he made that decision. It's not because of that, and you know that. He sat on stage. Cam even sat on stage and tried to tell you it is because of the way they found out and how they found out, the timing of when they found out. He told you. He sat down and told you. Am I delusional? Did I miss something? Did we not see an episode of him sitting down and saying, I look like a fool to my family? Did he not have a talk with her? So he's supposed to not blindside you after you blindsided him. He's supposed to be loyal to a stranger because you are still a stranger to him, because you didn't even involved in y'all know what I'm trying to say right now, but you did not try to like give any of that information that was actually very valuable to somebody that quote unquote is looking for somebody serious to love. You are mad because he didn't choose you because y'all was supposed to leave this process together. Was that the plan? Just to leave together on a lie? Or just to say that he was my ride or die at that time? I told him my situation and stuff. Is giving you testing people. It's giving, let me just throw out some situations and see if you all still stick with me at the end of it and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure at some point there was a question asked, so what's the situation with you and your baby daddy? Thank you. Divulge. That's the word I'm trying to use. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm pretty sure there was something like, hey, you and your son's father, y'all good? There was some form of question that was asked along the same as with the cousins, the friend, whatever that person was to Hussein. I'm sure there was a question asked about that y'all situation, but you want to sit here and just be like, oh, they should have really asked. Everybody tonight was getting on my nerves with that. You should have said it a specific way. Should I say, tell me the story about you and your kid's father? How did y'all hook up? How did y'all break up? How did y'all do this? Do I have to ask all of that for you just be like, hey, I don't really have a good situation with him. We don't talk no more. I'm not really sure what's going on with him since he has been locked up. I just left it for him and my child now that my child is at a certain age. You're grown, right? You want everybody to love Rose for Rose, right? Do Rose love Rose for Rose? Because Rose seemed to have a hard time telling people who Rose is for them to love her. I just look at it like, you want somebody to love you for you, but you too scared to actually tell them the truth or whatever because you're worried about how they gonna look at you. If I see that everybody reacting to Kira because Kira tell them the information, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look at Kira and be like, man, this is not for you. Because if they look at your situation that your baby daddy is whatever, whatever, and they don't want to choose you, that's what it is. Guess what? Jay still gonna tell Jay. If Jay baby daddy's locked up, whatever, and stuff like that, Jay, hey, he incarcerated. I don't know. I don't write him. I don't talk to him and stuff like that. He got a direct line to my child. They have their conversation. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So to come on the stage and be all emotional, you all effed up behind it, you mad, this was supposed to be my person, only to find out later in the episode, you over here smashing Cam. So you say. And I do, Tina, I'm gonna put you up. I'm gonna put you up. It do go both ways. It do go both ways. You can ask. However, if I'm being asked and I don't give you the information because it's giving what it gave, if I don't sit here and say, the cousins can ask me all day long, what's the situation with you and the baby daddy? Oh, there's some things going on. There's a way to answer that question without actually divulging all that information that I have not given the person that I'm actually supposed to be connecting with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to have my person looking crazy like that if that's my person. If I know I have not told that person something, why am I going to tell his family members something? So yes, it goes both ways, but in that moment, that's on Rose. Rose in that moment decide, let me go ahead and drop this information on everybody sitting at this table. I said it before. You've been keeping weeks of silence on this information. These Negroes don't know you. They don't have to know you. You so far removed from that situation. So why did that one question in that one moment by the cousin, friend, whoever the heck he was, decide, oh, you know what? This is a great time for me to go ahead and share everything. Let me lay everything on the table. Not because the person that I'm messing with asked me the question, but because his people asked me the question. Why in that moment is the time for me to go ahead and be like, oh yeah, so my baby daddy is this. He been locked up for this many years. This is why he got locked. I've been sitting on it this whole time. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna continue to sit on it. Not Rose is the weed. Ah, shoot, she got weeds growing around her, baby. She ain't gonna better bloom next season. Winter is coming. But I'm gonna sit on that information. I'm not gonna say if I've not told my person the information. I feel like this is get internet. You've been doing good, so good, and that's my this right here point. You had no whatsoever intention on telling either person. Why is this not letting me do anything today? Internet, why? You've been doing so good. She had no intentions on telling either person, and that's fine. You could have kept that information. You were sure. Maybe I keep information. I'm sure. Sometimes you might not even feed my family friends until I'm sure. That is quite okay. But I'm not gonna sit here and drop information potential does not know in front of everybody. I don't know why my internet want to act up now. See, this is part of the reason why I've been taking the summer off. Man, listen. He want to act a donkey. I think Rose out to get me. Rose messing up my internet. Where's Chad? Chad, help me with my internet so Rose can't get me. I need Chad in the building. Chad, come forth. Come fortheth. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to air out. And here's my other thing with Rose, too. And I thank you, C. Golden, for bringing it up. You want to keep your information on the hush. But now you ready to blast everybody. I ain't gonna lie. I hate that type of person. Don't tell my story, baby, if you don't want to tell yours. My story is my story for me to tell, not for you. So don't tell mine. Like, what is we doing? What is we doing? You know what I'm saying? El Cid, you went up, my guy? Let me know if you went up. I'll send you the link. But let me know what we doing, babes. Because now you want to put me on blast because your stuff came out the way. But here's the thing, your stuff came out of your mouth. Let me be Tasha up and why did I get married? Boom. Let me do my stuff. Let me tell don't tell my stuff. I don't care if that's who's saying is true though. That is apples to oranges to me. Got you, ma. That's apples to oranges to me. I don't care if he's been locked up, it's been expunged. Yeah, he got a record. He don't got it. Don't matter. That had nothing to do with the situation at hand. You decided that you wanted to give some information that he was not privy to in the first place. And he decided, yeah, this is just a person I can't trust right now. So I ain't gonna even mess with it. He owes you nothing. Why do you feel like some strangers owe you loyalty? Am I crazy? Am I going to Lulu? Am I off? Am I wrong for feeling like strangers now owe me loyalty? Strangers don't even know my secrets. Why do they owe me loyalty? I don't even know the stranger's secrets. Why do they owe me loyalty? I'm trying to wreck it in my brain. Like, why would a person I just met a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, why do I feel like they need to sit here and be to a fault no matter what I tell them, ride or die for me? Especially when I'm not being transparent in the first place. And y'all know I'm not big on transparency and stuff like that. I am big on honesty if I ask you something, but I'm not big on transparency like that. But if you're not being transparent with me in the first place, why do I owe you loyalty? Why, when I gotta mysteriously find out things about you just because we talking too daggone much and we just asking like random questions and stuff like that? Why do I feel like I gotta just owe you my life? What have you done for me for me to owe you my life, my pledge to you? I'll wait. You running around here crying and all this, and Tay giving you bad advice in the moment. Be savage, beat it. Tay, hush. Tay, hush. Tell you, well, you already proved you ain't good on good decision making anyway. So please hush. And I kind of like you, girl. I do kind of like you. You know what I'm saying? But please hush at this moment. You telling the wrong person to be savage because this one cuckoo. You telling a nutcase to be savage. Yes, Gail said, Tay out there telling people to be savage, not the out of everybody. I mean, I'm with you if with the F them. If you tell them some business and they want to let you go for that, F them. I'm all for it, but don't be savage, my guy. Like, take accountability. That's really what you need to be doing. Take accountability for the fact that you decided to tell them on your time and they decided to make the decision off of that. That's what being an adult is. That's what owning your stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Some people are not going to rock with you from the stories you tell. Sometimes your past may come to haunt you in certain ways that you didn't expect. Be comfortable with your decision. You decided to lay down with that man, have a baby by that man, and raise that man's child. And he decided to do whatever he did to get him incarcerated, which has nothing to do with you, as you say. So why is that such a hard story for you to tell? Why are you so... Why are you so far removed from your child's father that you say you don't think about this person when you got a whole kid with them? And I get being in your own world, having your own thing going on and stuff. Like, I got a kid. I got a whole kid. It's been 20 plus years since me and her father did anything, had any romantic talk, whatever, and all this stuff like that. But guess what? That man is still in the back of my mind because I have his kid. That's another part of my child, whether I like it or not. So whatever relationship they have, it still affects me from to a degree. Like, it's still a part of me, because if it affects my child, it affects me. If my child feels some way about her father, it affects me. So I want to start with that part. Yes, her kid is like 18 years old, 17 or whatever at the time. So it's like, what is we talking about right now? It's so far removed. I don't think about that and stuff. But you think about it as soon as somebody asks you the question. You knew you was asked the question several times. You had a whole conversation about childhood and raising kids and all this stuff like that. What are we talking about right now? This was crazy. I was just like, this is nuts. Okay, but you're big mad on this stage right now, though. You big mad at everybody but yourself, and that's what I'm gonna talk about. This, like, you gotta be accountable on your end. You're still on this stage telling them, can it be fair that we both had a part in this? No. F they part. Like Tay would tell you, F them, F they part in it. Be accountable for your part. Get up there and say, Tommy, you know what? I said what I said when I said it. I should have had a conversation with Hussein. I feel some way about it. I actually feel some way that he didn't really express himself, but you know what? I'm going to take my part in it. Because I did what I did. I said it around his people, and I probably should have had that conversation. Looking back, I probably should have had that conversation with him first. We could have moved on. But you know what? Let me not just talk about this by myself, because y'all are up in here, and I appreciate all of y'all that's joining me, because it has been a minute that I've been here. It has really been a minute. But let me bring my boy up, because what good is this if I don't have somebody to talk this through with? What's going on, Coach? What's the half, my guy? Like,
what's good, man? What's good, man? You right?
This brought me out of retirement. I'm back, y'all.
Whoa, what a sweet episode. What a sweet episode. What a sweet episode, eh? Listen, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a whole bunch of unaccountable people on that stage. We talk about it left and right. Listen, first, I know we're talking about Rose, but let me just say first and foremost, Cameron Hussein, y'all need to be accountable too. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, I'll get to ladies, but I just got to say, Cameron Hussein, you got to be a little accountable here, okay? Cam, you more so than Hussein, sir. Come on. You see, sometimes you can actually beat in sports we talk about the high press when a team is pressing you very high up the pitch. You know how you can beat that? By being very honest. When they press you and they're pressing you high and they're saying, you know what? Can I be honest with you? You were texting me. I'd have been like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was texting you because you're fine. That's a flip. What has happened here? What has happened here? Yeah, because you're fine. That's why I'm texting you. Why else am I gonna text you? Yes, I want to go on holiday with you because you're fine. shoot, I thought we had a chance. Right now, what does that do? It throws the other person into a particular position. They don't know how to even answer that. Shawnee would have been backing up. You know, said obviously you want to go on holiday with this girl and be a boy toy, whatever. Would have been that. Yeah, I did say that because girl, you are fine. And I thought about it and I thought, raw, maybe this could be something. Are you telling me it couldn't be? If you're telling me it couldn't be, all right, cool. My bad. I misrepresented I misread the signs. My bad. Then the thing is done. No one can bring you up to anybody. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Right? Then there could have been, Cam. Then also the same thing with, you didn't work with Sahara. I mean, Sahara told us. I mean, she blocked him, but hey, that's his own situation in itself. We knew that wasn't gonna work. Okay, that boy is running. And then the audacity, Cam. I like you because I've interviewed you already, but I gotta be honest with you. The audacity to tell someone that you're not sure if you want to be open, but you want to let them know that later on you could be open. Bro, are you trying to be open or you're not trying to be open? Like, just keep it a buck. I'm not looking for monogamy. I just want to have sex and I want to be free. Just be, you see, again, because what ends up happening is when you start lying, you look bad. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm going to be honest with you. I want to have sex. And Rose, me and you are cool. I like the vibe we got going on, but I'm still open. That way she gets to know, rather than now she comes on here telling a story about she found condoms in your room, which sounds like a plot in one of my novels. I'm not even gonna lie to you because it literally happens to one of my characters. They find the condoms in the room. It's like, bro, like, come on, bro, you just have to be honest. And you save yourself a lot of issues in this place. So yeah, Cam, now you look like a player. Now you don't look like the good guy that you thought you were trying to be, right? You know what I mean? I like Cam. I think he's a cool guy, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. You look like a player and you look like a liar. It's that simple. If you've just been honest about it. Hussein less so. I think Hussein's one is more of a case of Angie was never really that strong of a deal, and that's why you were able to let her go, right? Clearly, her busting windows out the car did affect you. You weren't really feeling it. You were off. It is what it is. I'm not really mad at it. I don't think I won't say that anything did anything wrong with Rose. I think she probably wanted a bit more of an explanation. She still needs to be accountable for her behavior, but I also understand where she might have felt like Hussein could have at least maybe had those ending conversations. You know what I'm saying to you? But sometimes also that when you're talking to somebody who has got a particular energy towards you, and you're a little bit scared of how they're gonna react in terms of not like they're gonna react badly, but they ain't gonna let you go. Yeah, sometimes it's best just cut them off. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that is the case per se in that scenario. I'm not gonna say either or. I can see how both of them were, but Rose, baby, I'm just gonna say it. Come on, Rose. Come on, Rose. We can't be crashing out on a stage like this, baby. I understand that you really liked him. I do. I get it. But I think Rose is an example of what we talked about beforehand earlier in the season. A lot of people are like Rose. They lie to themselves. And they lie to other people. Not like a traditional lie. It's not a lie like, oh, the sky's blue and actually the sky's red. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that kind of lie. The lie I'm talking about is the pretense of I'm such a good person. I don't do anything wrong. And that's what we said that was crazy. That the ex said, oh, she's basically perfect almost and nothing done wrong. We all knew that something's wrong. And now we're seeing what's wrong. Like when you crash out the way that she crashed out just then, it's like, babe, there's something deeper for you. You know what I mean? And so I just felt like in that scenario, I can understand why that you might have felt hurt, but then you have to comport yourself. You have to comport yourself so that you don't crash out this way over Hussein, because Hussein clearly doesn't want you like that. So don't let yourself crash out. But the reality is, you did say the information late, and I do agree with her though. I mean, I have to be honest with you. I mean, why the man that weren't asking the question? I have to be. That's a fair. I ain't gonna hold nobody. If the whole entire time I've been talking to you and I never asked about your baby daddy, I got to question you too about your vetting system. Now, if you asked her and she never said it, and she waited all the way to the end, then she has to take full accountability. But let's be honest, man, if we're not asking questions about her baby daddy, we do have to take accountability. But at the same time, when you do finally tell the thing about the baby daddy, I'm entitled to make a different decision. I shouldn't be punished if I haven't disrespected you for choosing a different route due to the information. And actually, this is why men and women lie a lot of times, because they know that once the information comes out, the person has an opportunity to actually leave and go a different route. So a lot of people will lie, withhold information, not tell the full story. They will twist it up a little bit because they know that if they tell the full story, someone's going to say no. But actually, that's deception, that's lying, that's manipulative. And it actually shows that you're not confident about the decisions that you've actually made. Stand in your truth. If your man was in a prison and he's in a jailhouse because he's done some mad things, cool, stand on it. He's a crazy person. That's not me. That's him. He is not a reflection of me. It's a past decision I've made. I'm not with that now. Cool. We move past it again. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Someone said, I think Hussein went to jail. He wasn't rah-rah enough. I'm denying it. Yeah. Well, I mean, on his Instagram, he said that he didn't go to jail. So I don't know. But jail and prison are very two different things. So, and I don't know if it actually shows up on yours. Does it show up on your record if you go to jail per se, the same way it does for prison?
Things that show up on your record. He did say in that moment or whatever and stuff, it was never charged, never booked, none of that type stuff. So whatever the case may be, something happened.
Yeah,
whatever the case may be, it sounded like charges was dropped, so it was never an actual whole thing. Maybe he was detained for some reason or another during college or whatever, but it never went to a full out incarceration. Is what I'm gathering from what he said. Now, my question is, do we think Rose was asked the question about her baby daddy in some form by at least one of the men?
I mean, I'm surprised that nobody. I'm surprised that they didn't ask it. You know what I mean? To ask what is going on with her baby daddy. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a normal question to ask. What is going on with your baby daddy? You know what I mean? But if they didn't ask it, I'm a little bit surprised as to why they didn't ask it. And I have to really question these men because are you not interested enough to even want to ask about baby daddy? You know what I mean?
Now, I'm inclined to believe there was a question that was asked and she worked her way around, navigated around how she answered it or whatever. And the reason I say that is because if there was no question asked, my only thing was say, y'all never asked me. I wouldn't sit here and say, that's back in my mind. I didn't think about that. I don't think about him. He sold this. I don't have this. It was a whole bunch of other excuses other than y'all never asked me.
You didn't ask me. Yeah, okay.
And y'all know I live by a don't ask, don't tell policy. So I'm good for like, you, if you want something to know, you better ask me. I'm not going to volunteer it and stuff like that. That would have been my whole argument up there. Not one of y'all men ever asked me about it. The cousin is the first person to ask me about it. So when he asked me, that's when I said, if I'm an open book, if I tell you I'm an open book and you never ask me, that's not on me. She keeps screaming, I'm an open book, I'm all of this stuff like that. But why don't they know that? Why it took all the way to then. And then when you sit there and say it back, it's, oh, that's so far behind me. I don't think about that, man. That, you know, that was all, it was a whole bunch of other things other than y'all never asked me. And she still didn't say y'all never asked me. She said, can we take account that, you know, y'all didn't really do
both sides?
So it's just like, for me, Rose, I feel like the question was asked in some form, and you, in however form it was asked, you took the short route. You didn't go in depth. And I feel like if I go back to earlier parts of the season, I thought it was a whole talk between the two of them. Or somebody had a talk with her behind the situation and stuff. Now, was it one of these men? I'm not sure. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, if that's so far removed from that situation, all this stuff like that, that should be nothing for you to be able to talk about. I should not be at hesitation on somebody that's technically a part of my life for the rest of my life. As long as me and my child is alive, that person is a part of our life. I don't care where they're at. And because your child actually has a relationship with that person.
Yeah, no. This is yeah.
That's a good question. What about the Exes episodes? Didn't it come up then? Like,
that's a good point. I mean, I just look at it and I'm like, well, it's a sticky situation, right? But it's a lesson. I think it's also a lesson to learn, right? I think it's a lesson to learn. Rose will learn from this, you know, that in future, you know what I mean? Like that. Well, I mean, listen, we can look at it from all sides. If the men didn't ask, if they're being serious, they should be asking, right? And if you are a lady too, and you think you're serious about this man, you probably should be telling him about this baby daddy situation, right? Because the person has access to your child, even though they're 17, they still have access to your child, right? So that may be some information a person may want to know. You know what I mean? Like in that particular aspect. And even if the child was even grown, you still want to know, right? Because if that person is somebody who doesn't let you go, you know what I'm saying to you? Like if that person is not a person that doesn't let you go and they're in jail, but they've always been stalking you. Yeah, I need to know. I don't care if your child is 25. It's not even about your child no more. It's about you. You know what I mean? And whether I'm going to be affected by this. So, I think we can either there's lessons all around, right? Like, I'm now thinking to myself, like, if somebody did have a kid, I would have to ask, make sure I'm asking that question and make sure I'm getting an answer. But at the same time, as well, you, the person on the other side, you probably want to be volunteering this information so that it makes it easy. Show that you're transparent, you're honest, and you have nothing to hide. If this man is, like you said, he's got an individual relationship with your child, then you should be easy to say, hey, he's got an individual relationship with my child. He doesn't bother me. He doesn't come near me. We don't even really talk. And then they'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then it's like, we can move on. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Let's move on from that. But I do think that obviously that, probably Hussein and Cam probably clocked some things about Rose that were off before this point, and they were looking for an exit route, right? I'm not saying that obviously is because it's not the most craziest piece of information, if I'm going to be honest with you, but it's enough to be like, no, I'm good on you. You know what I mean? Like, here's my excuse to let me see go out, right? So there probably was some other stuff that they noticed about Rose. It didn't line up with for them. And this was just a perfect way to parlay out of the situation. Okay. I don't think even Hussein even wanted Angie, if I'm really honest with you. So, that's why he was able to bow out and not be like, oh, no, I'm over it. I'm not over it. But, I don't want to choose you because the truth is you don't want to choose her because you weren't feeling like that. And it's okay. I'm not mad at it.
At the time, it looked like he feeling her now. I don't know. But
wow.
We'll let that tea come out. I don't know. But yeah. I just, like I said, it's your story to tell. You know what I'm saying? And it is up to a person to ask. I would look at it like y'all was never serious about me in the first place. If y'all don't ask about that situation, y'all was never serious. So I'm not going to come on this show crying and boo-hooing for people I didn't feel was serious because my child is serious to me. Her child is clearly serious to her. When you hear her talk about her child, you know how much she loves her child. That's a serious thing to me. So if I get a man that's in my life, don't ask me a bit about what's going on with my child and my child's father or whatever and stuff like that. People not going to ask me too much now because my child is older, but you know what I'm saying? But that's also an easy cop out too. Cause if you come and ask me and I'll be like, oh, well, my child is 17. Well, what more are you going to ask me? My child's 17. They got a relationship with their father. What more are you going to ask me? Once I get to the age factor, I'm thinking, I don't really have to ask you too much about what's going on with your I know some men with children, 20 some years old. I'm not about to ask about their baby mama. Now you tell me you got a 5-year-old. It's like, oh, well, why that didn't work out?
Because you expect them to be a dependent on them. Yes.
Yeah. It's still, you're still taking care of that person and stuff like that. So when you start telling me that your child is basically almost out your house, I'm not looking to sit there and be like, well, what happened 17 years ago with your child's father and all that. So that's why I don't put too much ownership on the men or whatever. I would be like, yes, you might want to be serious about it, to ask about it or whatever and stuff like that, because that's part of the past. I'm gonna ask about your past relationships regardless. That's just me. But overall,
no, I mean that's same.
Yeah. Overall, I'm not gonna really think. Once you tell me your child is of a certain age, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, let me investigate that. I'm thinking, I'm at this point, I'm like, you guys have pretty, unless y'all just divorced, y'all have had relationships with other people in between there, and I might ask more about those relationships than I do about the father of your child. But at the same time, I don't expect you to sit here and just, when one of my friends asks, just to start be like, oh, well, yeah, let me give you all the information. And I'm sitting here looking like, now I know I asked this question in some form and you ain't said none of this. Now I'm looking at you like, are you actually serious? Because this is information I feel like I should know. And if you're gonna sit here and have this talk, and let's rewind back to the talk that her and Hussein actually have, and she was like, "Well, I don't owe y'all nothing."
That's right, heifers.
cheated and stuff like that, do I look at Hussein being bad at his decision at the end of the day? It's like, okay, you're right. You don't owe me nothing, and I don't owe you nothing either. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's puzzling for you to come on this stage acting like you big hurt over this man. And now my next question would be, do we think her and Hussein slept together during the process? Because
it's given I got the dick. Sorry. It's given that we got some vitamin D. Yeah. And I think this is a key lesson in anything. Take sex out of the equation, people. Take sex out of the equation, people. Because it is so difficult to make informed choices when you are having sex. Everything just looks so rosy. And I know it's like a common thing to say all the time, but it's like, it's real. Like, even at your big boy age, you can get bamboozled. Like, you get vitamin D it will sizzle you. And even the men can get sizzled. I'm not even going to play with you. Those who are handing out the vitamin D can get sizzled. You know what I'm saying, Chew? That's why they be making dumb decisions, right? That's why they be putting their vitamin D in people that they shouldn't be putting them in. And then saying about the girl's crazy. You knew she was crazy, right? Now Cam, like for instance, now we know for sure Cam was obviously, doing what he was doing with Rose. I don't want to hear complaints saying she's crazy when you knew she was crazy. I mean, we've been there, I've been there. So, the reality of the situation, you can't then complain after and then be like, she's crazy because you knew this. Mm-hmm. So my thing is like, look, take sex off the table and out of the equation so that you can make educated decisions, right? There is nothing. I'm listening. I'm not gonna say there's nothing wrong, but obviously you're grown. If you're not Christian, that's fair, understandable. You have your own belief system. Then you be adult-like with your decisions, but be aware that playing in a playground, amongst the sand, you go and get some sand in your pants, in your toes, your hands, your fingernails. It gets all over you. So when you start, getting naughty with each other, this is going to cause carnage later on down the line. So do I think that she had a thing with Hussein? Probably, with the way that she was really banking on him. I also think with them too, like I said, I think she always uses a representative. But I also think as well that if you consider her background, remember we said that Rose keeps getting cheated on. What is the reason Rose keeps getting cheated on? Bad boundaries and attaching yourself to people before you've actually confirmed who they actually are. There is a thing that Rose needs to sit down and start healing and get off that and get on the bench, because it keeps happening. And now this is actually the anger that she's probably feeling is a backlog of not just them two men, but other men in past who've also mishandled her and mistreated her and who she felt she deserved better from. And it's now coming up and adding even more. And we're seeing it in fruition on TV. And so it's just coming out in this form. So yeah, it will do like that. You know what I mean?
It's that reason, and then there's this other reason too, and I don't know if a lot of people will admit this, but it sometimes happens where you want one person.
Okay.
But you end up messing with another person just thinking that you're going to be spiteful or like get back or something like that. But that don't work out either. Now you mad at the first person
for letting you go. You made me do this. You see why I am?
You're still not taking account. However, I get that frustration where it's like it was supposed to be you. I was ready to choose you.
You.
Now I'm mad at everybody because I done gave this fool to Cooch and I don't even want him. I wanted you. Now I'm taking it back out on you and stuff because I was like, we know for a fact at this point you slept with Cam because Cam did not deny any of that.
Yeah.
He sat there and ate it. He did not deny any of that. So it's like, we know you slept with him, but you did not have the same venom for him.
Which is interesting.
That you do for Cam. I mean, for Hussein, and I'm like you're literally crying. Behind Hussein. So I'm just like, did you sleep with both or whatever? Or are you just really mad that you gave it to Cam and you wanted it to be Hussein?
Sometimes.
I mean, both could be true. You could have gave it to both and still be mad because
Yeah,
Cam didn't
true.
act right still.
Because it's who you really wanted, didn't it? Yeah,
I know I've
yeah.
been there sometimes back in the day when I was like, you make that phone call to that one person and they be like, nah, not tonight. You call
It's
somebody else,
crazy.
it's like, I don't want you to.
Hey, and that's what I'm saying. That game, that's what. But that game is ruthless, and I think this. But at her age,
Yeah.
because this is young people's mentality. When you are not thinking through all your decisions, right? Because even I think, let's just even say, I think the venom she had for Hussein is, like you said, I think that was her main number one. Like she said, because she said obviously she was always with Hussein. She always was choosing Hussein. It was always Hussein, right? It was always Hussein who she was going for. She banked on him. He was supposed to be the one that saw her, who knew her, who loved her, who cared for her, who protected her. And unfortunately, she feels exposed and she feels like she's been done dirty and betrayed by Hussein leaving after one single fact. And actually, the reality I think has happened here is it's a self fulfilling prophecy. Unfortunately, in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, don't tell him this information because he might leave. And then information comes out and he does end up leaving. But you're not recognizing the pattern. If you had told him from the very beginning, he has a choice to make. And you don't get that deep in the first place. You can actually assess your options from there. And so, at that point in time, she doesn't get to do that, right? So now we get into a situation where Cam's also wanting you, and this happens to a lot of us, by the way. This is not abnormal, men and women. This happens to you. You just don't get to see it this way, right? When you have low esteem and low self-worth, remember I said this about how she got cheated on. When you have low esteem and low self-worth, what tends to happen is that Cam is a good second. Like he's not like the worst. He's not the bad. He's a good-looking guy. He desired her. He wanted her. But we all know that he really wanted Sahara. Well, I won't say wanted, but he was willing to play more Sahara, right? So in that space, sometimes what can end up happening is for you as an individual, right? The desire and the wanting of him sexually is being reinterpreted as, well, I'll take that for now as being somebody wants me, right? I've just been rejected. I'm in pain. I feel like, the person I really wanted didn't go for me, but at least somebody's helping me kind of like buffer up this pain. So what she's actually not doing is processing the pain. Mm-hmm. So she's using now, instead of actually addressing the pain, she is using sex to cover up the pain. So now she goes to Cam. Cam does what he doing. And Cam is letting you know there's a condom around. Cam is letting you know that he gonna be now open, right? But your energy isn't for Cam because really and truly your heart wasn't for Cam. Cam is meant to help you get over the fact that you're owning Hussein. But you then recognize by the end of it, it doesn't help. it never really helps you getting over that particular person because what you're getting over isn't the P. You're getting over the D. I should say the D, but the emotions, the E. Mm-hmm. You're getting over the emotions, and you can't sex that away. You actually have to address that. You have to take time with it. You have to grieve the fact that you opened your heart to somebody in that space. And so sex can't close the gap. You know what I mean? It only distracts you from actually doing the hard work. And so unfortunately, Cam, they both use each other in a sense. She used him because she probably wanted to, get a leg up and get over it. And she wanted to feel good in that moment. And it probably did feel good in that moment. When your leg was up, you were feeling good in that moment. But after it's finished, it's like, it doesn't address that your heart is still broken and still hurt. And you can't even say anything to Cam because really and truly, Cam's doing what Cam's doing, and you weren't really on Cam like that. So it's more of a case of, I feel betrayed by the fact that he had a condom around. I wanted him just to be a little bit more honest, but Cam, my mind's not on Cam. It's the same. And so it's unfortunate. It does happen to people. And so it's an indication for her, again, just to go and do some work. Self-healing. You know what I mean? Go and look at that.
Now, here's my other part too. I know she was airing out things and Hussein said the stuff that she aired out about him was not true. We do know that at least some of what she aired out about Cam is true because he didn't deny at all, at least from what we've seen. He could have edited out, but it didn't look like there was no denial. But I was confused because she's like, I found condoms. I guess it's not the ones that we use, but she was like, we use condoms all the time, but do you have a baby on the way? And I'm just like, wait, you found condoms, but do you have a baby on the way? Like those two are like opposites of each other. The condoms are supposed to stop that. I don't know. That's what they're for. So I'm just like, how did we get there? in that information. I'm just like, are we just hurting? We just throwing out anything right now or whatever, just to see what lands and
Mm,
sticks or whatnot? Because I would never ask you, do you have a baby on the way? Because I found condoms in your house.
yeah, that's wild. So does he have a baby on the way?
That's a good question. I don't know. You're never gonna. You're never
Because
gonna
you
get
know a
confirmed
broken
today.
clock could be wrong, could be right twice in a
That's
day.
what I said. I just felt
Okay.
like she was just throwing something to
Oh,
see if it sticks. So
you
spaghetti,
shoot
let's
close
go.
enough, you might
You
get
ready?
something.
I gotta hit
The
something.
bird might just you might catch a bird, and you was like, yeah, I meant that. But really truly, you was aiming the fire everywhere. You know what I mean?
I don't
Does
know.
he?
Just
Yeah,
gonna
that's the
say
question to answer that. Does he?
you obviously effing around, and I was like mad how she tried to throw Fritz under the thing too. Just like Fritz, he in the poly. I was like, Fritz is like, I'm not in
He's
the
like,
poly.
I'm trying to be monogamous. And then gonna
Fritz
be
is like,
monogamous.
I'm into open people, but I didn't say I was into poly. I'm into people that's open with their sexuality and being nude and stuff. Because he said, I got a lady. Now Fritz is like, why I'm in this?
You know, I'm trying to stay out of it.
I was just like a little confused. I was like, are we okay, Rose? Because we just.
She's not okay. She needs to go and do some deep self work. You know what I mean? I told you, when people show you anger like that, it's deeply rooted. So she's not gonna. I'm not saying she's gonna be out here nuking anybody, but it's just when that outburst comes like that, it's because of some deep wounds. You just need to deal with them, you know. So yeah, her saying about the baby situation. Hey, she could be right. She could be right about both of these men. That you know, he got a baby in a way, and her saying could have been to you know, had been incarcerated. Now the incarcerated thing is a bit wild because if I did tell you something in person, it was a private thing I told you in person. For you to air it out here just to prove your point, you're proving why I don't need to be with you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Angie too proved it today as well by the way she popped off of Cam and didn't even give him a chance to even have a conversation. Even though, again, I'm not saying that Cam is the perfect guy either. He has to be accountable, but you proved that you'd probably pass somebody's window in their car again because one, you didn't want to even take accountability properly in terms of why you did what you did. You wanted to put it on the man instead of just saying, okay, I'll be accountable and this is me. And now you showed us that anger again. We have to just be and this is and then also the men need to be accountable too. Stop ignoring the red flags. Okay, I'm not even trying to be cool with you because I'm sorry. Even if as a friend, you are a danger to me.
Mm-hmm.
That angle's gonna come out later on somewhere because if I already know you like me, and this is what ends up happening on the show as well. A lot of times because people are still doing back shots, and I'm like, bro, if you gonna keep playing with these people, you gonna end up in the madness. Trust me, people know. Okay, they know who they are. They know about my situation. So you keep playing these stupid games, you're gonna win some really dumb prizes. So if someone is showing you that they have these anger issues and that they can pop off in some way, you pretending that, oh no, that's all right, it's cool. I can handle that. You're gonna find out that the day that you try to handle them, they're not handled. And I think Angie just showed herself and Rose showed herself as to why the men, fortunately in this situation, really did make the right choice in not pursuing further alone with them.
Yeah, I agree. Because I was just like, what the hell? Because the way she walked up into Angie at this point walked up into that conversation.
I thought she
And
was thinking that they were talking about her.
yeah, that's what I was thinking at first. But then when we got to it, and which bothered me with that conversation is she walked up, don't put my name in your mouth, and was just like ready to walk off and not really explain what it is. They had to literally chase her down. Sahara literally had to chase her down and just be like, what the hell is going on? So I was confused because I was like, what the editors is leaving out right now? Like, what are we doing right now? And stuff, only to find out that I guess Rose supposedly told her something about the reason why Cam left her. And again, Rose, why are we still talking about other people's stuff? Whether that's the case or not, why are we out here doing what we doing? If that was a real conversation, that would between you and Cam. Don't act like you friends and you saving these ladies because you really don't like these girls. Like, let's be for real. You're not friends with these people like that. So it's just like, I didn't understand that, but I also didn't understand Angie just blowing up in that moment, going over there and then hurrying up, trying to walk away. Like, sit down and talk about it. Like, if you don't want somebody to keep your name out your mouth, tell them why they had the name in the mouth. Like, who are you? I'm definitely gonna come. Who are you to be sitting here talking about why, like my past situation and stuff like that? Or I'm gonna come up to you and be like, so my past situation is the reason why you didn't want to talk to me. Is that for real? Like, but I'm not just gonna be having threats and then walk away. Like, you don't know what why I'm giving you these threats. Like I'm just not going. I'm not that type of person. And you don't have to chase me down for it. Like I was just puzzled by that part. I was like, Angie, what is happening? But for the fact Angie didn't think she had anything that she had to work on. When Tommy asked her, like what we had to work on, she like being softer, I
I'm not trying
guess.
to play. Yep, I'm not trying to play with that.
It's like, Ange, yeah, you still gonna bust a window out of something. Like she said, it wasn't a car, it was a house 5 years ago. But you gonna bust a window, you gonna slam a door, you gonna throw some things, you gonna do some things. I don't know. I needed people to just be up here and be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the growth starts. That's where the healing starts. That's where your journey begins on being a transformed person or whatever. If that's what you want to do, but it is giving that these ladies are not really into elevating themselves for what they want. You want a relationship with somebody, yes, but don't nobody want a liability. Y'all sounding like liabilities right now. I'm gonna have to have a rainy day fund for to fix some doors or some bail money to get out of jail because your baby daddy done came out and acted crazy with me and stuff like that. Like, let me know what I'm working with, please. Let me make my own decision as a grown person if I want to mess with you or not. I don't know. That's the part I don't get is y'all want people to love y'all for y'all, but who are y'all?
Mm.
And I applaud Sahara because for the most part, we seen all of Sahara. She ain't denying much of who she was and stuff, and she kept it real all the way to the end. Do she need some work? Yes. She knows she needs some work. But she gave you who she is. So for me, I'm like, that person's more ready to love than you so-called well put together, well presented people showing your representatives all the time. Yeah, don't break my house windows, baby. House windows is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Car windows is expensive.
A car windows is expensive, but a damn she broke her house window is crazy. Well, then again, we're saying that, but someone might have we know that some people's windows can be a bit a bit weak. But yeah, that was wild. I said, sis, you breaking house windows? Is that what we're doing? I said, nah, sis. I need you to recalibrate and rethink the strategies. I think sometimes people do some stuff and they don't realize some of the stuff that they're doing is wild. I think this is what I'm saying to you. People haven't been challenged in their thought processes for a little while. So what happens is people get stuck. They get stuck in that same route that they haven't seen that they need to grow. And the fact that she answered that question, did not even know how to answer that question, tells us everything to know. Right? Everything we need to know. I keep telling, like, we see this all the time. Like when we interview people, the same thing. You look at them and you're like, they're not being accountable for the choices that they're making. And until you're willing to make different choices, you're going to get the same results because you're doing the same thing. So hopefully Angie can see that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I feel like Angie is having some growth or whatever. She is a little bit more authentic than I think Rose has been through the process or whatnot. And, a couple of people have seen through it or whatnot. I'm just like really puzzled by the behavior of Rose. I mean, I see it. We all kind of seen it coming. We all knew that there was this side of Rose that she was trying to hold in, but I'm just puzzled by it because I'm like, girl, I don't know. I be feeling like I'm so different. That's probably what my problem is because I'd have been on that stage laughing my little self off, knowing I just smashed your man's.
I took your man's.
I broke your man's. I bought him some t-shirts.
Finish your man's. It'd be like that.
I don't know.
Cleaners.
And now you never gonna get her saying back because some dudes don't want to know that you smashed their mans.
Ain't no coming back.
I don't think Hussein gonna mess with you now. Now that you done aired you and Cam out or whatever. And I don't know if she was doing that just to get at Sahara. I didn't understand none of that part, but yeah. But I do want to talk more about this. I just had to do a little quick live with, whatever. We'll be back on Tuesday over on your channel for sure to flush out the whole episode like we always do, like we been doing or whatnot. So, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
I just think everyone needs to be accountable. I think everybody watching this should really look at, everyone should look at this show, at least this episode, and look and see what unaccountability looks like. Okay, be accountable. Tell your truth. Someone's accused you of this situation, which is not like you're going to prison. Just literally, hey, you know what? I said it. You know what I mean? And move, and no one can hold you to that at that point. Like, what else they gonna say? So, yeah, I just wish that people would be accountable. That's what I would say.
Yeah. So Rose, Cam, Fritz, Angie. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I feel like I'm probably missing somebody in this accountability list.
True.
Yeah. Oh, true for sure. Oh my God, Lord Jesus, woman, you did not give the man nothing. We definitely got to talk about her. She was a wild girl, and she was still blaming him in her confessional later.
I was like,
why they said we just watched a video of you not giving me your age, and you still gonna talk about
the denial was crazy. That's what I would say. Denial was crazy.
The instant gaslight was wild. I was like, lady, no, we just watched it. You gonna tell us that we all didn't see what we seen? Yeah, so we're gonna be here. Well, not here. I might link the channel, but we'll be back on Tuesday, Little Black Book. So if y'all not following that channel already, y'all over here on my side and y'all not following Little Black Book 91, please go over there, follow that channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because Tuesday we will be here to talk about it some more. And also know that on Wednesdays, we be having Dilemma Wednesdays after him and Sean do their Pop the Balloon segments and stuff. We have Dilemma Wednesdays over on Kojo's channel as well. And yes, your girl shall be coming back to her normal things. We'll have some Friday night discussions. Some of my Friday nights, I won't hold you. I probably will not be here towards the end of October, so don't look for me because I'm gonna be in these streets.
At least you're honest.
Now I'm gonna be accountable for not being here.
At least she's honest.
You haven't watched it yet. The live is always better. Don't worry. You'll watch it. You'll catch up. Sean will be here. Sean will be around and stuff like that. We'll see Sean on Tuesday. But we back. This episode has definitely brought me back or whatnot. We'll be back with Love is Blind. We got stuff coming back. So we'll be back with some things. And I might end up doing some of these other little documentary type stuff because I've been watching true crime stuff. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, we gotta talk, y'all. People out here being wild. Right. But thank you, Coach, for coming up with me and stuff. Thank you for everybody on his channel. Please like, share, and subscribe over there if you haven't already. Thank you for everybody over here on my side. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back for more. We're gonna get up out of here. Love y'all, but we're gonna leave y'all. Peace.
Well,